Okay, so variables on both sides. Yesterday we wrote down these steps, but I told you to skip the third one because we were skipping over it for right now. So today I want you to add that in. So 1 is still distribute, 2 is still combine like terms on each side, 3 is you need to get your variables together, and we'll see what that means here in a second, and 4, solve the 1 or 2 step equation. This is 4. All right, you can go ahead and copy down that first example for us there, too. Okay, so we've got 6 times x minus 7 equals negative 30 plus 2x. So I find it really important on these to put that line down the middle of your equal sign, because what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to start moving stuff from one side to the other. And if you don't have that line right there, you may mess that up. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do on this problem is step 1, distribute. What's that going to give us, Julian? Okay, just a 6? 6x. Alright, the other side, I'm just going to leave it alone because I can't put those together. So we just distribute here. So now we're going to combine like terms on each side if possible. Can I put 6x and negative 42 together? No, the 42 does not have an x, the 6 does, so those can't go together. What about negative 30 and 2x? Those also cannot go together. So we're not going to combine like terms on each side because there's nothing to combine here. So the next thing, I want you to move your variables. So what I find a lot of times is everybody starts moving the numbers, the 42 or the 30 here, because it seems easier to them. However, the students who do that are usually bad at solving equations. Okay? So look at your steps here. Once you've combined like terms, I want you to move your variables first. Okay? So I got a 6x over here and a 2x over here. I cannot just combine those and make 8 because they're on different sides of the equation. Okay? So whenever they're on different sides of the equation, I have to move one over to the other side by adding or subtracting. Okay? So a lot of students like to make sure they get a positive. Some like to always just move their variables to the left-hand side. It's up to you on what you want to do. In this case, either one, the 2x is probably the best to move here. So it's a positive 2x, so I'm going to subtract 2x, which means I'm going to subtract 2x over here. Make sure you're subtracting 2x on both sides of the equation. There should be that line down in between. Sometimes you might try on the same side, and that's not going to work. So 6x minus 2x is going to give me 4x. Make sure you don't lose that x. Minus 42 equals negative 30. Now we should be down to a 1 or 2 step equation. Cameron? You can do it that way. And I'll show you here. Let me finish this way and I'll show you what it'll look like if you do that. But you can do it that way. So for this, we would need to add the 42. Are you sure about that negative? It's positive because the 42 is bigger. Okay? So it's going to be a positive 12. And then our very last step, Passion, what do we do here when we have that 4x equals 12? We're going to divide by 4, and x equals 3. Okay. Cameron asked if it was okay to move the 6x, so I'm going to go back up here to this point. It is okay to move, so you don't have to do it this way. I'm just reworking because she asked this interesting question here. If I move the 6x instead of the 2x, I would subtract the 6x from both sides because that's a positive 6x there. So that'd just leave a negative 42 over here on the left. I'd have negative 30, and then I'd have minus 4x. This would be fine though, because if you add 30, you get negative 12 equals negative 4x, and you divide by negative 4, and so you would get a positive 3. Equals x. So either one will give you the correct answer. Okay, questions? Alright, let's do another one. I handwrote this one because fractions are hard to type. Copy this one down. So we got 1/3 times 6x plus 9, in parentheses, minus 2x equals 3x plus 11. So, for this problem, I see my parentheses here. I'm going to have to distribute. So, I got to distribute 1/3. So, it's going to be, I'm doing 1/3 times 6. To multiply fractions, I put that over 1, multiply straight across. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I'll get 2x. And then I also have to do 1/3 times 9, which I could make that 9 over 1. 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So plus 3. And then I just carry down that minus 2x. Now, I wrote this over to the side, but what's another way you can think of multiplying by 1/3? What's it the same as? Not multiplying by 3, but dividing by 3. So if you're multiplying by 1/3, it's the same as dividing by 3. Or if you're multiplying by 1/5, it'd be the same as dividing by 5. If you're multiplying by 1/8, it'd be the same as dividing by 8. So a lot of these might have fractions in them to begin with, but they go away really quickly once you multiply, which is really just like dividing. Okay, now for this, before you start moving stuff, what's the next step we're supposed to do? Combine like terms, right? So we want to combine like terms before we start moving stuff left and right. If you move stuff immediately, you're probably going to get lost in what you're doing. I'm not saying it can't be done that way. I'm saying you're probably going to get lost. This is my 14th year of teaching. Every year I've had some form of Algebra 1 or Math 1, and I've taught a lot of students. And if you don't combine like terms first, most of you are going to probably mess up. So, when we're combining like terms, we're not doing opposite operations. We're just combining like terms like we were on that worksheet yesterday. We're just putting these together because they're on the same side of the equal sign. So, what is 2x and negative 2x? It's 0. You don't just put x, because if we do just put x, what number's in front of it? It's got a 1 there. So we put nothing. If you wanted, you could put a 0. But 0 plus 3 is just going to be 3. So we're going to put nothing. They cancel each other out here. So we got 3 left on the left side equals 3x plus 11. Okay, we got to take away that 11. So, negative 8. And last step. Ooh, that does not go. It is 3 and x next to each other is multiplied, but we need to divide to get rid of it. But this is okay. Our answer is just a fraction. Okay? And leave it an improper fraction, just as negative 8 thirds. So, sometimes that happens. Everything on the quiz had a whole number answer. So you might have made a mistake adding or subtracting before. Yeah. Everything on the quiz had a whole number answer, but everything in general doesn't always. Okay, questions? You could also give a decimal, but since this is not calculator, just leave it a fraction. All right, here's our next one. Okay, so copy this one down. 3 minus 9, parentheses, m plus 3 equals negative 9 minus 24. Alright, so Vince, what's the first thing we should do on this one? Good. Good. We're going to distribute, and I like that you told me that's at negative 9 we're distributing. So we'll have this 3 just hangs out front. Then what will we get, Vince? Right? Minus 9m, and then we'll distribute to that 3 also. What will that give us? Negative 27 plus negative 9m minus 24. Alright, now I need to combine like terms. Do not start moving stuff yet. Combine like terms. On the left-hand side, what could we combine? 3 and negative 27. So I've got 3 and negative 27. I'm not doing an opposite operation here. I'm just putting those together. What's it going to give me? Negative 24, right? So I got, ooh, this looks weird, right? Well, it's a little strange to say that, yeah, they're the same. It's going to be infinite. We could go ahead and write it here, or let's say you don't recognize it right away. If you move your variables, which is the next step that we should do, what happens is, what is negative 9 plus 9? It's 0. It cancels out, right? That's what you want to happen. But over here, you also have a negative 9 plus 9. It cancels out, which is 0. Those are gone. So you just end up with negative 24 equals negative 24. Your variable has gone away completely. So, if that happens, and is it true that negative 24 equals negative 24? That is true, right? Then we're going to say infinitely many solutions. And we do not have time for the last example that I had for today, and we're not going to get to the classwork, so enjoy your weekend.
To get it, you gotta do it twirl. You gotta twirl. Twirl. Twirl.